Well, today is November the 6th, 2025, and in just a little while, I will be going to the hospital for reconstruction surgery on my left knee. The reason for the reconstruction surgery is that I have a tear in my ACL, and then in my MCL, there's also another tear in meniscus. There's let's see, meniscus, there's a horizontal tear, and then I have fluid swelling under the joint and the bone, apparently a lot of it. And on top of that, I guess I have osteoarthritis. So lots of things going on with the knee. I actually didn't have any knee problems that I was aware of until I was babysitting my grandson, and we were jumping on a trampoline, and he double bounced me. I guess that's a thing. Anyway, I didn't land quite right, and I heard this terrible pop. Like, it's a very unmistakable noise. I've never heard it before. And of course, when it's your leg, you're not just hearing it, you're feeling it. And there's just this immediate understanding of I've done something not good. Not sure what I've done, but it's not good. So I sort of got down on my hands and knees and then crawled off of the trampoline so I could assess. And I realized immediately that I could not put any weight on my left leg. So I was like, And then I watched it, to see how much it was going to swell. I did elevate it. I iced it. I was actually in the States, and I'm a Canadian citizen, so I really didn't want to go to the hospital if I didn't have to. But the next day, really no better. Leg was swollen, couldn't put any weight on it, so I called my insurance company in Canada and said, would it be okay if I went and got this looked at? And they said yes. So I went to the emergency in Oklahoma, and they did x-rays. They didn't see anything broken. They weren't sure if I had torn my ACL or not. They said really you needed imaging, like MRI imaging, to be able to determine that. But because the leg was so swollen, they didn't feel like they would get good imaging. So they basically told me to just stay off of it, keep it elevated, and in a week's time, if it wasn't any better, come back. So I did all of that, and in a week's time, I could put weight on it. I got myself a little walker and walked around some, and it was getting, better. So I didn't bother going back. I didn't also go back because the leg remained swollen. So I thought, if they're not going to get good imaging, there's really no point. And as my date to return to Canada, flying, became closer, I got a little concerned about how I was going to navigate the airport. So I placed a couple phone calls to the different airlines and explained the situation. They were great. They had somebody come, put me in a wheelchair, and they wheeled me about. I went ahead and sent all of my luggage through, even the bag that I would normally carry on. I just let it go through because I didn't feel like I needed to deal with anything in the airport other than just me. And I'm really grateful that they offer that service of wheeling you around, because some of those airports are big, right? And sometimes it was a wheelchair and sometimes it was a golf cart, but I got to where I was going and didn't have to, try to walk, so that was good. Once we got back to Canada, I went to the emergency here, and they did x-rays again, and again they said no broken bones, but the emergency doctor said, he gave me a brace, like a long brace, and he said, I'm going to suggest that you go and see like an orthopedic specialist. And I said, that would be great. And so then I just waited for them to call me to make an appointment, because that's the way it works here. And I was really lucky. Within just a few days, I got a phone call. And so I was able to go in and meet with the orthopedic surgeon. He went over my leg, did some testing, I guess the kind of test that they do in the office that kind of gives them an idea. And he said, I feel like you have torn your ACL and possibly done something to your meniscus and maybe your MCL. We need an MRI. And I was like, yep, that sounds about right. So they did the MRI. It took about 3 weeks to get the MRI because, again, in Canada, sometimes there's a waiting period. But I was actually grateful that it was done within the 3 weeks. That's not bad as far as waiting time here goes. And the MRI did show that the doctor was spot on with what he thought was wrong with it. And so at that point, it's sort of like, do you want to have reconstruction surgery, or do you just want to go through life with your leg like this? Apparently, because of my age, I'm 59, some people choose to not have surgery. If they're not really mobile, if they don't go much, like maybe they just walk from their bedroom to the bathroom to the kitchen, they're just not out and about. I guess some people choose to go through life, the rest of their life, with their leg like that. I'm not that way. I'm the kind of person that likes to be able to bend my knee to get into a kayak, or to go roller skating or cycling or hiking, what have you. I'm a go, go, go kind of person. So for me, if there was an option to have surgery on my leg and get some of my mobility back, if not all, that was definitely the only option for somebody like me. So then it gets a little bit more complicated. They want to know if they're going to take from your hamstring to use that to sort of recreate a new ACL band, or do you want to go with something from outside of your body? And so I had to do a lot of research to be able to answer those questions as to what I thought was going to be best for me. And so from start to finish, the injury happened on July the 12th, and here we are November the 6th. So not quite, was that 5 months? August, September, yeah, it's close to 5 months. It's been a long haul. So I feel very, very grateful that today is the day that I'm going to be able to have this surgery. And I just thought I would go ahead and begin a bit of a blog here, just to maybe share the story with other people, in the hopes that anybody else, going into this, will learn a little something from what I'm learning. I do know that I did my research. I watched a lot of other people's blogs from theirs. As a result of that, I feel pretty prepared. I have a wedge pillow that I plan to use on the drive home. I have my crutches. I did the extra taping and extra padding at the top from learning from somebody else you're going to put a lot of weight on those. So that's a good thing to do to prepare for that. We bought the C pack. I think it's called, it's like an ice machine that will help to keep the swelling in my leg down. I got a little bell so that I can ring for the husband if I need something, so that I'm not hopping out of bed. That was a good one that nobody else mentioned. I wear a lot of dresses that have pockets, so I know with crutches you can't be putting things in your hands. Some people recommended wearing like an apron, but because I do wear a lot of dresses with pockets, I feel like I'll be fine that way. And we've even gone out to the car and kind of practiced. How will I get into the car? How will we position my leg for the drive home, which is about a 20-minute drive? How will we get me up the stairs? There's about 5 stairs. And, with the toilet, like, do I need a little bench in there if my leg's going to be straight, so that I can keep my leg straight and rest my heel on like a little stool? Do we need a seat riser for the toilet so that I'm not dropping down lower than I need to be? These are all things that we're going to be playing around with and trying to figure out what works best. And so I will update as to how this all goes. But for right now, I'm going to leave in just a little bit. Haven't had anything to eat or drink because it's midnight. Definitely missing my coffee this morning. Did the cleaning that they ask you to do with the special soap. Fresh clothes, fresh sheets on the bed. Yeah, so I feel like I've done all the prep work I can do, and excited to get this going. Not excited to have surgery and have my leg cut apart, but excited because now there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So